like you don't weigh a lot, but you don't eat very good. Have you guys ever met people like that? You know, they can put anything in, they never gain pounds, and stuff like that. Is it possible that those people, would you say those people are healthy? Would you guys say, even though they don't, look overweight or anything like that, are they healthy? So what do you think I would worry about? What do you think I'd worry about? Their heart, right? So they could have high cholesterol, high blood pressure one day, okay? Have you guys ever met people, you hear about these BMI scales, right? Body mass index. Yeah, they could actually be really big, but they could be really fit. So we work with USA Wrestling, so those people don't actually fit those BMI charts, right? So you can actually be really muscular and stuff like that. Those things don't work. So the thing is, I want you guys to understand is that we're going to go through this is just good nutrition. That's what I'm going to teach you guys about. This isn't a diet, right? How many of you have ever been on a diet and you actually lose the weight, you hit a brick wall at 10 pounds and you can't lose any more? And then all of a sudden you go back to your normal ways and you actually gain a little bit more than what you started when you got off. We're going to talk about that over there with that diagram over there. So how bad is it? Well, let's look at this up here, okay? So the United States, overall health. Do you think we are close to number one, being the best health out of all the world? Or do you think we're pretty low?
Pretty low.
So we're actually almost dead last, if not last, in almost every single category listed up here, okay? Infant mortality up here, this is an interesting one. This is actually one of the worst countries to have a baby in. Okay, does that shock you guys? Okay. How about teenage pregnancies, HIV, disability, drug-related deaths, obesity, and diabetes? Okay, we are the highest in obesity right now. Okay, and overweight. Okay, heart disease, chronic lung disease. I would say, for one of those reasons why we are in the situation that we are in right now, okay, is the American diet is really sad. Okay, SAD, Standard North American Diet. Okay, so that acronym up there really puts the picture up there, okay? So obesity, what's happening with obesity right now? What's happening? Every year it keeps going up, okay? How about heart disease, what's happening with that? Okay, diabetes, what's happening with that? Okay, by year 2020, they're saying every single kid, if the trends are true, okay, every single kid by 2020 will have type 2 diabetes. Okay, is that scary? Okay, so what do you have to do with type 2 diabetes? What do you gotta do every day? Yeah, you gotta take insulin, take some drugs, check your blood sugars every single day. Okay, can you imagine taking a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old and saying, hey, we gotta check your blood, we gotta prick your finger right now, okay? How well do they do with shots anyway? You see what I'm saying? So we do that every single day. So when it comes down to this is we are number one, 36% of the United States is actually obese. Now what's the difference between overweight and obese? Okay, which one's better, which one's worse? Yeah, so obese is way higher, right? So we're at 36%, Mexico is at 30%, and the numbers keep going down up here. So we're not doing very good right now, okay? So this is what I want to talk to you guys about, okay? This comes down to hormones, right? So it's not about calorie in, calorie out. So here's what I'm going to do over here. You guys can all see this over here? So here's the 3 scenarios that can happen. So there's good, which is meaning there's a time of feast, right? There's food readily available, right? So think about back in the day, ancestors, right? So there's times where there's a lot of food and there's times where there wasn't much food, okay? Your body actually recognizes what to do in each scenario, okay? So good is feast, right? So here's your brain. Now, here's what they just found out. In 1996, there was a hormone that was discovered called leptin, okay? You need to remember this word, leptin. What is it? Leptin, right? So leptin, okay? Now, they used to say adipose tissue, fat tissue, it was just there to store stuff, right? Store energy. Well, now what they actually know is the endocrine. So what's endocrine mean? What does that mean? You go to an endocrinologist, what are they looking for? Hormones. Hormones, okay? So endocrinology, okay? So they know that this thing kicks out hormones, and that hormone is called leptin, okay? So here's the scenario, okay? When food is available, your fat stores are actually going to be increased, right? So when you can eat a lot, you can actually increase fat stores, okay? Your metabolism will actually go high, right? Because you have the food there to burn, right? So you can eat, you can burn the fat, right? Your appetite will go down, right? Because there's so much food available, you don't have to pack it on, okay? You need to remember that one, okay? So this is when food is available. Does that make sense? Okay? So fat stores are up, metabolism will increase because you can burn it, and appetite will go down. Now, when there isn't food available, okay, you're going to go into a state of famine, right? So brain, fat, leptin is there, okay? Fat stores are going to be down, right? Because there's not food available, right? So fat stores go down. Metabolism will also go down, right? You don't want to burn it all at once, right? You're going to spread it out so your body slows down metabolism. And appetite will do what? Yep, it's like, okay, I gotta go get my next meal. I gotta go get my next meal. Okay, so this is when this mechanism is working properly. Most people are actually right here. Okay, because do we have to worry about a state of famine and feast anymore? What state are we primarily in all the time? Feast, because you can go to a supermarket. You don't have to hunt your own food. You can go buy your own food. Okay, so we're actually developing this right here. Okay, so this is called leptin resistance. Okay, so I want you to understand. Okay, so leptin is produced by what? What's producing leptin? Hormone. But that's a hormone, but what's actually kicking it out? All the what? All the fat, right? So fat is kicking out leptin, right? So here's the thing. Here's where most people are at, right here, okay? So we have a ton of leptin, right? So the body thinks the fat stores are high, but here's what's happening here is it's like leptin is being kicked out left and right? And the brain says, oh, I'm going to shut off the ringer. I'm not going to pay attention to that anymore, okay? So leptin tells the brain what to do, right? It tells the body what to do, metabolism high or low, okay? So what's happening here is the ringer is off, leptin is really high, so all of a sudden what happens here is metabolism will go down and appetite will increase even though you already have a ton of fat, okay? Now I want to give a scenario. This is why you can actually lose 10 pounds by sheer force, right? You can say 1,500 calories in, 1,500 calories out, I'm not going to gain anything. It's because of this, is you are actually putting your body into a what mode? Is it feast or famine? What happens? If you don't eat food, right, I'm going to lose weight by not eating food, what state am I in? Feast or famine, right? You got it, okay? So what happens, right, is fat stores should decrease, metabolism should decrease, and appetite should increase. That's what you guys are doing. So here, all of a sudden, your appetite goes up when you guys are just not eating, right? Your metabolism is going down. Now, what do you want to do? If you want to lose weight, what should metabolism do? You want it to go up, right? You want your appetite to do what? Go down. And so when you start looking at some of this stuff right here is most people are leptin resistant, okay? So what do you think can cause leptin resistance? We didn't talk about that yet. What do you think can cause that? Any ideas? Any ideas that could cause your brain to shut off? How about sugar? Okay, do we eat a lot of sugar here in America? Okay, so I want you to write this down, okay? So when you guys start looking at labels, right, your body can only handle 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar at any given time, every half hour, okay? Here's the formula. When you look at the ingredient label, you know how you see sugars on the back of that label, right? It says 15 grams. So the formula is this, is you take that number, divide by 5. So if I had 15 grams of sugar, you divide by 5, that'll actually equal 3 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, that's maximum you can ever handle in every half hour. Okay, why? What will happen? What will happen if you actually consume, let's say, 5 teaspoons of sugar? What does your body do? You guys know what happens to sugar if you don't burn it? It turns into fat. So again, you get to this part right here. Okay, it leads us right there. Okay, so you guys have the equation. You take the grams of sugar, you divide by 5, and it's going to give you the amount of teaspoons. Okay, how many teaspoons can you handle? 2 to 3 teaspoons at any given time. Now, here's the thing. How many of you guys eat dinner and you guys eat dessert right afterwards? So you guys might, just ate starchy potatoes. I just ate, peas, which have a lot of sugar in them. Then I'm going to do a bunch of ice cream after that, okay? So do you see how that adds up real quick? So what would I tell someone if they want dessert? What do you think I'd say to them? Wait a half hour before you actually eat that dessert so you can actually burn off that sugar, and then you can actually eat that ice cream, okay? So the thing is a lot of people are right here, okay? So here's the point of the story, is just by doing calorie in, calorie out, it's not gonna work, okay? So now start thinking about some of the diet plans out there, right? So there's a lot of bad diets out there right now, okay? You gotta eat this, you gotta eat this. Weight Watchers, for instance, okay? Is before when my mom used to do it, okay, I think it's changed quite a bit since then, but it was a point system, right? And I kept joking around with my mom. I kept saying, well, I could literally eat 6 Snicker bars, right, which is like 5 points, right, for my 30 points per day. Now, does that teach me nutrition? But I would still what? Lose weight, right? I could still lose weight by doing that, but it doesn't teach me proper nutrition, okay? What else can cause leptin resistance? What else? What do you guys think? What brings you health, I should be asking? Okay, so sleep will actually affect this, okay? So here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys is, how many of you guys have a bedtime? You guys stick with it, like 10 p.m. I got to be in bed by 10 p.m., okay? So you need to do that because let's say you get to midnight. Man, I only got 6 hours, okay? What happens to your fat stores, do you think? They increase and your brain shuts off to that leptin receptor, okay? So believe it or not, if you don't get enough proper sleep, you're going to actually throw your body into leptin resistance, okay? What else? Sleep was actually a good one, okay? What else? How many of you guys get real stressed? Okay? Stress will shut off the ringer. Okay? Stress will shut off the ringer. So have you ever known people, like they get stressed out and all of a sudden their weight does what? Goes up. And then they go on vacation, man, I lost, 5, 10 pounds when I was on vacation. The stress goes down, right? The ringer turns back on, okay? So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you that sugar thing is very important. Okay, that sleep thing is very important, and that stress thing is very important. Okay, so that will get your body working in a proper way. So that's about hormones. Okay, you guys are all going to get a challenge. Okay, it's already posted on our Facebook page. I need you guys to download it, but it's a 30-day challenge. Okay, you could lose 20 pounds in 30 days just by following this thing up here. Okay, now here's the thing: if you're like me, you're not going to lose 20 pounds. Okay, but it's going to teach you proper nutrition. Is what it's going to do, okay? So it actually has breakfast, lunch, and dinner listed on here, so you don't have to get creative and think, well, what do I want to eat, okay? Do you know where most people fail when it comes to like nutrition changes? Is they don't have the food in the house, and they say, you know what, I'm just going to eat out tonight. I'm just going to eat out tonight, okay? So the thing is, the step one is just being prepared, right? You've got to look at the document and figure out what do you need. What do you need to stock up on so you have the week ready, okay? The other thing that's on here is actually a workout thing that we're going to talk about later, okay? First step is download it, fill it up, print it out, and fill it out, okay? There's a BMI chart on here for those that are, just the average American, okay? It will actually tell you pretty close where you guys are at, okay? The next thing I want to show you guys is this. You guys all got did everyone get a note card? You guys didn't get 2 note cards, okay? So they should look like this. They should be sticky on one side. I'm going to tell you guys what to do with these, okay? That's okay. If you need 2 more, that's okay?
I need another one.
I'm going to tell you, I never ever thought I was going to be a chiropractor. I was actually in school to be a medical doctor, and here's what happened to my family, okay? My brother was diagnosed with cancer when he was 17 years old, okay? Given a 20% chance of survival. That's it, okay? The doctor said the best thing we can do for you is we can actually put you on phase 3 clinical drug trial through the FDA. What that means is they don't know all the side effects, okay? So what ended up happening 2 months into the care of his cancer, they started finding side effects in other patients, right? That this can actually cause a different type of cancer, okay? So he had leukemia when he was 17. 7 years later, he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, okay? Now, he has had cancer twice now. He married his wife. They met in the oncology ward. She was 16 years old, okay? So she had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, okay? Now, what ended up happening is they had a kid. 5 days later, she passed away, okay? So the thing is my brain said, and my family was all about, why did that happen? It was a tragic thing for my family, okay? So here's the thing that motivates me, okay, and really kind of changed my life, is I thought to myself, maybe there's a better way out there, right? So a lot of people, if I said, if you have high cholesterol, what do most people do for that? What do? They take a pill. But if I were to ask someone, right, is, well, how would you change it without a medication? What would you have to do? What would you have to do? Yeah, there you go. So you guys had the answer there, okay? How about high blood pressure? What would you have to do? Okay? You see where I'm going with that, okay? So the thing is I want you guys to take one of these cards, and I want you to think about why you need to change. And these are patients in our office, but here's what one person wrote, okay? I'm weak, okay? That's why they haven't changed. I want you guys to actually write down why you haven't changed yet, but I'm weak. Fear of change. A lot of people have a fear of change, right? A fear of failure is what they wrote, okay? Lifelong habits. Lifelong habits is what they wrote. So write the reasons why you have not changed currently, okay? So go ahead and do that right now. I'll give you some time. So why have you not changed? Why have you not changed? Let me see a show of hands. Who's done with that one? Show of hands. Okay. All right, so for the next one, you're going to take the next note card. Okay? And now here's what you're going to write on this one. You're going to write why you need to change. Why you need to change. And it can't be this, okay? Some people write this down. Oh, I want to look good this summer in my bathing suit. Okay? That is not a big why. Okay? So you need to come up with a big why. So my, every time I think about it is, you think I shed a tear or two when my niece passed away. You think my brother was diagnosed with cancer twice. My sister is also diagnosed with cancer. My grandmother passed away of cancer. I thought to myself, you know what? That is going to motivate me so I never end up there. Okay? So having a brother that went through chemotherapy, radiation, and surgeries for over 2 years, 75 spinal taps, okay? That's motivation enough to say, you know what? I don't want to ever end up there. Okay? So here's what this person wrote. Okay? Why you must change. God gave me a body to take care of, and it's the temple to the Holy Spirit. And I do want to spend many more years seeing my 7 grandchildren grow up. Okay? So it wasn't to look good, right? It was for other people besides themselves, right? So the thing is go ahead and write the reason why you need to change. Okay? So if you have grandchildren, that's a great one. While you guys are writing those down, I'm going to just tell you a story. It kind of impacted me just hearing it. But there's a guy named Hoyt. His last name is Hoyt. He had a kid with cerebral palsy. That's what he had. Maybe you guys saw him on the news. But his kid said to his dad when he was really young, like 11 years old, he said, I want to run. Well, if you guys know anything about cerebral palsy, this kid's in a wheelchair. He can't talk, he can't do anything. And the dad was so torn up by that, he said, you know what, I'm going to run, and I'm going to push him across the finish line. And so the thing is here he is doing triathlons, right, Ironman competitions. He's finishing not in the last place, but maybe in the middle, right? He swims with his son in a boat while he has a harness around him, okay? He actually bikes with his son on the bike, right? He actually pushes his son when he does the running. Right? So the thing is, here's a guy, before that statement was made, hey, Dad, you know, I would love to run and cross that finish line. The guy couldn't even walk up the steps without being out of breath. Okay? And he said, you know what, I'm going to do that for my son. Okay? So you have to have a big why, because this won't work if you don't have that. Right? So what you guys are going to do, this is going to seem really goofy, okay? There's a reason why these are sticky on the back. Okay? What do you think I'm going to tell you to do with these? You're going to stick them on your bathroom mirror is probably the best, okay? So you stick it up there, and that's going to stare you in your face every single day, okay? When do you take them down? When you hit your goal, right? You take these things down. So here's the thing, is this has to move you, okay? It's going to be way different than any other diet plan. This isn't a diet plan, this is a lifestyle change, okay? So once you guys get that done, okay, hang it up on your mirror in your bathroom, okay? Here's nutrition for weight loss, the 5 steps, okay? Eliminate sugars. Now, I am not talking about sweets, okay? If I said to you bread, is that sugar? Bread, yeah, that turns into sugar, okay? Pasta, does that turn into sugar, okay? Rice, does that turn into sugar, okay? How about corn? Is that a vegetable or a grain? Vegetable or a grain? Corn. And my mom always used to say, go pick 2 vegetables out, and I'd always grab corn for some reason, okay? Now I know that's not, a vegetable as a grain, okay? So the thing is, you need to eliminate sugars, okay? Cut out grains, remove bad fats, okay? So we're going to talk about what bad fats are, good fats are. Why? This seems crazy to a lot of people, okay? Little fruit. Why would I say little fruit? What's in fruit? Fruit. A lot of sugar, so fructose. The only ones I would actually recommend that you eat because they have high vitamins and high minerals are berries, okay? Low sugar, high vitamins and minerals, okay? So how many of you guys do smoothies? You guys do smoothies? Okay, so I would tell you berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, anything berry you guys can go ahead and do, okay? Now the other thing I'll tell you is there's one apple I would recommend to you, okay? What apple would I recommend to you? Low sugar, has low sugar content, Granny Smith apples, okay, perfect, okay? So the thing is berries and Granny Smith apples for fruit, you will still get a high amount of vitamins and minerals from those berries, okay? Avoid toxins, okay? Now let's talk about this, okay? In the 1970s, you started seeing on the shelves, okay? Low fat, 0% fat, 2% fat. Everything was low fat or no fat, right? Now what happened to our obesity rate? It went up, okay? So here's the first thing I'm going to tell you is fat does not make you fat, right? What causes fat production? What did I tell you guys? You guys said it to me already. If I eat a lot of this, okay, so sugar causes weight gain, right? So the thing is they take out all the fat, but in order to make it taste good still, what do they add back in there? Sugar, okay? So here's the thing is they're tricking you guys, right? They're saying fat is making you guys fat, so you better buy everything 0% fat, low fat, okay? What do you think the first step I would tell you is? To buy everything what? Full fat, and that's going to scare a lot of you guys. I can see you guys, oh man, I don't know if I believe that, okay? So the thing is Greek yogurt. How many of you guys do Greek yogurt, okay? Now here's the crazy thing about Greek yogurt. It is known for its fat content. That's why you buy a Greek yogurt, okay? Can you buy 0% fat yogurt, Greek yogurt? It's crazy to me, right? So they're putting in fillers to make it appear really thick, right? They're putting in starches to actually thicken that stuff up, okay? Starch is a sugar, understand, right? So the thing is if you're going to do something healthy for yourself, you need to buy full fat, okay? Here's the other thing. How many of you guys use margarine still? Okay? Oh man. Okay, so here's the thing. Why are some of you shaking your heads? What do you guys know about margarine? I want you guys to say it, so I'm not saying it. Why don't you use margarine? Did you hear it's bad for your heart? Did you guys hear margarine's bad for your heart? Okay. Margarine will clog your arteries. Okay, margarine will clog your arteries, okay? So we used to use margarine all the time when I was a kid because it's so convenient to take it out of the fridge and just, slap it on bread, right? Butter, if you take it out of the fridge, can you do that? No, so here's what I'm going to tell you is, it's safe to actually let your butter, like a stick of butter set out in a container, use it up, and then put a fresh stick in there, right? So the thing is you don't have to keep throwing it back in, taking it out, throwing it in the fridge, taking it back out, okay? So when it comes to these fats, right? Butter, believe it or not, is actually a good fat, okay? Don't buy the ones that are mixed with stuff, right? It should just be pure butter, okay? So don't buy the ones that say mixed with canola oil, okay? Now, how many of you guys use canola oil, okay? Canola oil stands for Canadian oil low acid. It is a man-made fat, okay? It actually is a rancid fat. Your body will absorb it, and it will not burn it, okay? So the thing is why do they promote it as a healthy oil? Because under a microscope, it looks just like olive oil, okay? Olive oil is expensive. Canola oil is what? Cheap, okay? So it's already a bad fat, okay? So when we did these things, we introduced, low fat, margarine consumption, heart disease actually went up, okay? So the first step I'm going to tell you guys is what? Increase your fat intake, okay? Good fat intake, okay? Now, here's the other thing too, is what is a trans fat? How do you know if a thing has trans fat in it? Are trans fats good or bad? Okay, they're really bad, we know that, okay? So this says no trans fat, okay? But here's the thing, is the FDA came out, there's a lobby, a push for this, right? They said, well, as long as it's below this amount, 0.5 gram per serving, you can go ahead and put this label on here, okay? Everyone knows that trans fats are bad, but you can go ahead and put that on there as long as it's below 0.5 gram. Now, do you think Nabisco changed their recipes at all? You know what they did? They changed how many servings are actually in the package. So all of a sudden, instead of saying 2 cookies, right, they say, oh, a serving is 4 cookies now. That changes how many grams of fat are per serving. Does that make sense? So they're really sneaky, okay? So how do you know if it says this, no trans fat, that it still has it in there, okay? Yeah, good job. Okay, hydrogenated vegetable oils or partially hydrogenated, that is AKA trans fat. Okay, so you want to stay away from anything that says trans fat on it. Okay, now they are passing a law right now to actually make that a 0 grams per serving law to put that on there. Okay, they're trying to ban trans fats right now. They've done it across Europe already. Now they're bringing it over here, trans fat free. Why do they put these things in there? There's a reason why they do that. Yep, shelf life. Shelf life increases. That's good for the food industry. That means they're throwing less food away, right? So here's the thing, is it increases the shelf life of this. There's a saying out there that says, the longer the shelf life, the shorter yours. Understand? Okay? The longer the shelf life, the shorter yours. These things, just to let you know, this is kind of a gross kind of thing that they're discovering, is bodies are no longer decomposing in the ground, right? It's because we're so well preserved. Right? We're eating all these, I'm not making that up, okay? We are eating so many preservatives. Every American right now eats about 140 to 150 pounds of preservatives every year, okay? And so when you start putting that in perspective, our bodies aren't even breaking down anymore, okay? Here's a list of bad fats. We already talked about hydrogenated oils, trans fats, okay? Rancid vegetable oils, we need to talk about these, okay? Corn oil, canola oil, okay? You need to watch out for those, especially anything that comes in a bread, cracker, cookie, or boxed food. Okay? So here's the next step. When you guys, and I know there's young people in here that probably have young kids, okay? Is I know this is a convenience thing, right? Is boxed foods, cans, jars. Those are conveniences, okay? Now here's the thing. What would I tell you about nutrition? Stay away from those, and what would I tell you to increase? Fresh, okay? So actually there's a rule that you guys should remember, okay? When you guys go to a grocery store, okay, what would I tell you to do? Stay out of the aisles, because that's where all the processed foods are. Stay along the perimeter, okay? That's where all your fresh stuff is, okay? That will drastically improve your health, right? So you stay out of the aisles, and you get everything on the outside, okay? Here's all the good fats, okay? Extra virgin olive oil, how many of you guys use that? Okay, now I'm going to give you a tip, okay? Because have you guys ever gone to the grocery store and you're like, man, there's a bottle that costs $3 and it's the same amount. There's one over here that costs $8, right? Do you think there's a difference? There is a big difference, okay? Olive oil, if it's a good high quality one, should have a green tint to it. So if you hold it up to the light, it should actually look green. Okay? It should not look a pale yellow, okay? The other thing too is you can assume it's a good olive oil because it's in a dark bottle. This light will hit the oil, right? So all your oil should actually be stored in a dark closet or cabinet, okay? So it doesn't go bad, it doesn't go rancid, right? So if it's in a green bottle or it has a really green tint to it, that's a good one, okay? Now those cost a little bit more, okay? Now here's the other thing I'm gonna say about olive oil, okay? It has high linoleic acid in it, okay? Which is not the best. It causes inflammation in your body, okay? So your go-to oil, believe it or not, should be what? How many of you guys have ever used coconut oil? Okay, now where do you guys get it at? Trader Joe's is a good spot. Okay, where else? Okay, go ahead. Where you get it? Bacon's. Okay, so I'm going to give you another tip. Okay, how many of you guys have a Sam's cart? Okay, you can get coconut oil, organic cold press, first cold pressing of coconut oil. You get 28 ounces, which is a huge container for $8. Okay, so there's certain things you can buy at these stores. They're actually cheap. Okay, coconut oil. If you guys know people that have dementia or Alzheimer's like symptoms, okay, 2 teaspoons or tablespoons a day will actually help memory. Okay, so it actually helps the brain. Okay, so this is your go-to oil. Okay, here's the other last thing I'm going to say about oils. When you cook with them, let's say you put it on a skillet and all of a sudden it melts and starts smoking. What should you do with that oil? Throw it away. Never ever use it because you just made that thing go rancid. Okay? When you make an oil smoke, it's bad. Okay? So you start over. Okay? So coconut oil is what you do. Now, how about avocado oil? Should you ever cook with that? Should you ever cook with avocado oil? What do you think? Never ever. Okay? These are like for salads, right? So all these other oils out there, the only ones you can really cook with, okay, is olive oil and coconut oil. They used to say grapeseed oil, but grapeseed oil goes rancid right when it heats up. It has a high smoke point, right? But that's one I wouldn't cook with either. So the only two I'd cook with, okay? Coconut oil and also olive oil, okay? I would, yeah, don't cook with, so all these other oils outside of that.
You have to refrigerate that too.
Yes, you do, okay? So all these other oils, you should never ever cook with, okay? Clear, okay? Grass-fed meats, eggs, whole milk. How many of you guys ever had free-range, cage-free eggs? Or a farmer that brings you eggs? Okay, if you crack open the yolk, what do you notice, or the egg, what do you notice about the yolk? Okay, it's like orange, bright orange, okay? If you crack open, so here's, you got 99-cent eggs, dozen of them, okay? And you crack them open, what do you notice about them? Pale, sickly yellow, okay? Now some people say, well, I can't afford those expensive eggs, right? Here's what I'm gonna tell you, okay? My mom used to fill up an entire shopping cart like it'd be overflowing, okay? There's a family of 5, right? Dad, mom, sister, brother, and me, right? It'd be overflowing, okay? And she'd spend back in the day, you know, $150, okay, to get all that food, okay? Now, what I know now is your body doesn't feel full based on how much is in your stomach, right? What does it feel full based on? How many nutrients you just got. So here's a prime example of that. In college, I could eat an entire bag of Doritos, big bag, okay? And I would still be hungry, right? So I would be like, give me some more, I need some more, okay? I could do the same, but I could eat like a head of broccoli, just one, and I'd be full. Now, how much nutrients do Doritos have in them? Okay, none, right? Broccoli, how much nutrients are in there? So your body feels full based on nutrient content, okay? So my mom could literally get away probably with buying half amount of groceries. It'd still equal out to be the same amount, right? But we're putting good fuel in our body. Does that make sense, okay? So a lot of people say, I don't have the money to buy expensive foods, right? But you buy less, and you'll feel full quicker, okay? Wild salmon, okay? What is the alternative to wild? It's the other, farm raised. You always have to look at those words, okay? You always want wild caught fish, okay? Not farm raised, okay? Right now, if you actually look this up, is you know how they're fattening up fish? How do they fatten up cattle? What do they feed them? Tons of corn, okay? You know what they throw into the water now for the fish? Corn. Okay, so this is crazy, okay? So here's the thing is they keep saying, well, you need to eat fish for fish oils, right? You need to eat fish for fish oils that reduces inflammation, okay? But here, right now, they're throwing corn into the water, which, what do you think that does to all the fish oils in the fish? It throws them off. It causes more inflammation when you eat fish than not, right? So that's a big thing right there about fats, okay? So the only two you can cook with are what? Coconut oil and olive oil. Perfect, okay? Going back to the sugar thing, how many grams equals 1 teaspoon? 5 grams, okay? So 5 grams, okay? So now you do the math, okay? Let's just round this to 60 grams, okay? So I thought I was doing something good, Jamba Juice smoothie, right? 60 grams of sugar in there. So do the math. How many teaspoons of sugar is that? Okay, that's 12 teaspoons of sugar, okay? So what's your body going to do with the other 9? What's this going to do to the other 9? Yeah, it's going to turn right into fat, okay? So how many of you guys, you know, we were right by Starbucks. We see all the cars out there, okay? Java chocolate chip. You guys ever had that one, okay? 47 grams, and not here. Have you guys ever known anyone that gave up pop and all of a sudden they lost 10 pounds? It happens all the time, okay? Is what are they doing to the sugar? They decrease all that sugar, and all of a sudden their body's not, you know, storing it as fat, okay? So I want you guys to stand up real quick. We're going to do something. We're going to actually do a quick workout, okay? You guys are going to think this is goofy, okay? How many of you guys go to the gym and you guys are on the treadmill for 45 minutes? Man, I feel good about myself, okay? And the thing is, you never ever lose weight when you do it that way. Or you're on an elliptical for 45 minutes and you never ever lose weight, okay? So the thing I'm going to tell you, okay? This is the way you need to exercise. It's high intensity, low duration, okay? So here's the example, okay? I have 10 blocks over here. Each one weighs 1 pound, okay? And now here's my goal. I need to move 1 block at a time over here, drop it off, walk back, pick up another one until all 10 are gone, right? Or what do you think a smarter way would be? What do you think a quicker way would be? Pick them all up at once and just move them over here and drop them off, right? Did I do the same amount of work? Yeah, I did actually, okay? Because what did I do? I moved 10 pounds all at once instead of 1 block at a time. So I did the same amount of work, okay? But I did it quicker and less time, okay? So here's what this is called, metabolic conditioning. They also call it surge training. This is how you should work out at the gym, okay? So here's the thing, is it only takes 12 minutes, okay? It's actually 6 minutes of exercise, 6 minutes of rest, okay? And people are always blown away by that. They think it takes so much time to hit the gym, okay? So how many of you guys have a gym membership, real quick, okay? How many of you guys use the treadmill? Okay, so here's what you're going to do, or elliptical, okay? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to do it real fast, okay? And then you're going to rest in between. You know those side rails, okay? You can jump off on those things and actually stand, okay? You're going to do 20, this is what you need to remember, 20 seconds, and then it's 20 seconds rest. 20 seconds on, 20 seconds rest, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds rest, okay? So you're going to do, I want you guys to pick 6 different exercises, okay? So you can do running in place. You can do jumping jacks, okay? You can do squat jumps, like this, okay? You can do lunges, okay? There's a lot of different exercises you can do. You do each exercise 3 times, and you go on to the next one, okay? That will actually add up to 12 minutes, so 6 exercises. Each one is performed how many times? 3. Okay, you do each one for how many seconds? And then you rest in between each one? 20 seconds, there we go. So we're gonna try this out, okay? So here we go. We're gonna do clapping. Sounds pretty benign, okay? But you guys have this jiggly arms on the bottom. This is what this is good for, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 20 seconds on, okay? You're gonna clap as fast as you can. Like this, hold on. Here we go. So, ready, set, go, clap. We're just going to rest for 20 seconds, right? So, how many of you felt that right away? Okay. You guys should feel it in your pecs, you should feel it in your deltoids. That's where you should feel it at, okay? 5 more seconds, we're going to do it again. Ready, set, clap. Okay, so just repeat it to me. How many exercises do you get? 6, right? How many do you do them in a row? Like how many times would we clap? 3. How many seconds do you go each time? 20. How many times do you rest? Okay, perfect. Good job, guys. All right, let's do it again. Ready, set, go. Good job, guys. Go ahead and have a seat. So, you guys feel it, right? You guys are happier now, right? So every time you guys do exercise, you produce serotonin, you guys actually get happier, okay? So, last thing we're going to say about this. Last thing. You need to work out at 90 to 100% of your target heart rate. So here's the last thing you're going to write down on this, okay? Take the number 220. 220 minus your age, okay? Times 0.9, and that's where your target heart rate is going to be. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I'm going to make it one step easier. Take that entire number that you get and divide by 4. Okay. Why would I say that to you guys? When you check your pulse, right? You're counting to 15 seconds, right? It's telling you your number, so it might be at 30 or something, right? Your heart needs to beat that fast. Now, when you do cardio, cardio is defined by 60 to 70% of your target heart rate. When you stop doing cardio, the benefit stops like that. When you do what we just did, you're going to burn fat for 36 hours. So you could be sitting, you could be sleeping, right? You're still going to be burning fat. That actually affects that leptin. It turns on the ringer again, right? So this is how you guys need to work out. You need to shoot for that rate. Whatever number you guys get from that, when you guys are working out and you check your pulse, right? That is the number you need to be at. Okay? That is how you're going to get results. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say about that. Okay? People that have had heart conditions get really worried about working hard like that. Okay? But the studies are all shown, okay? You guys can go on pubmed.gov, right? Any tax dollars get spent here for research, medical research. They all say that this reduces heart disease and heart attacks, even if you've already had one, okay? So that's why I'm going to tell you about this, is it doesn't, you don't have to worry, am I going to overwork my heart? It reduces your chances of ever having a heart attack, okay? All right, next one. We talked about leptin, so you guys know how that works, okay? Let's talk about this. Last thing is toxins, okay? Animals must eat, this is a weird thing, but animals must eat 16 pounds to produce 1 pound of meat, okay? 16 pounds, okay? So what do we feed cattle usually? Corn to fatten them up real quick, so they have to eat 16 pounds of corn to produce 1 pound of meat, okay? Now here's the thing. Would you guys ever eat, right, if I had like grass and spinach and all this other stuff and I sprayed it down with pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, okay? Would you guys ever eat that, right, without washing it, right? So you guys wouldn't ever eat it, okay? But we do this, we spray down corn, right, so we get higher yields, right? And then we feed it to cattle. Now here's the rule. It's called bioaccumulation. It will actually build up in concentration inside your body, right? And that's what happens to the cattle. So here's the thing. You guys know this. Puberty, what's happening to puberty right now? Is it happening later or earlier? Earlier. Wow, that's weird. Why is that happening right now? Okay, when I was in school, it happened between the ages of 13 and 17 years of age. Now it's happening between 8 and 12. Okay? Why is that happening? They're getting fatter, but we're injecting the cattle with stuff, right? So growth hormones, that they keep producing stuff, keep producing milk, okay? So the thing is that concentrates inside the what? The dairy, right? And then we feed kids this dairy, and what happens to them? They experience this pre-puberty, right? So the thing is, it's such a touchy subject here in Nebraska, okay, to talk about stuff like this, okay? But the thing is at Trader Joe's, you'll see some things that say RGBH free. Okay, that's the word to look for, RGBH free. Then you see other things there that say RBGH has never been proven to actually cause any of this. Okay, it's so bizarre to me that they offer both of those products in the same store. Okay, so the thing I'm going to tell you, okay, do your own research. Okay, I don't want to be the one to tell you, hey, this is what you should do. But I can tell you right now, I never buy anything with RGBH in it. Okay, it's a hormone disruptor. Okay, so when we talk about hormones, okay, what's leptin again? A hormone. You see? Okay. All right. The last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about. This is a big one. Okay. I am a chiropractor, but I want to make this make sense to you guys. Okay. So the thing is if I found the nerve that goes to your heart, and I cut the nerve, what would happen to you? What would happen if I cut the nerve that goes to your heart? You would die, right? Because your brain can't tell your heart what to do anymore. Does that make sense? What do you think would happen if I cut the nerve that goes to your thyroid? What do you think would happen? You guys are seeing the picture here, I think. Okay, so the thing is, if I pinch the nerve that goes to your thyroid, does your thyroid work better or worse? Worse. Understand? And what's your thyroid for? What's it for? Metabolism. Right? Yeah, oh yeah, it's for a lot of things. Metabolism. Okay. So the thing I'm going to tell you, okay, when it comes down to the nervous system, you understand, I don't think we give this thing enough credit, okay? The brain's spinal cord nerve, if there's any pressure on the nerves that go to any organ in your body, if there's any pressure there, it always works worse, right? And if I leave it there over time, it's going to turn into a symptom. Does that make sense? Okay? So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you guys, if I have pressure on the nerve that goes to my stomach or my intestines or my digestion, right? How well am I going to absorb all those nutrients? Not well at all. So some of you will actually spend $400 or $500 on good nutrition. I'm doing something good for myself, right? Or you have IBS or Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Man, I cleaned up my nutrition and nothing changed. What happened? I would actually say, well, is there a problem here? You see what I'm saying? Okay? Is there a problem with the nervous system? Okay? So here's the thing. I want to leave real quick. Any questions at all about anything that we cover? Any questions about nutrition? Okay? Any questions at all? Because you're real quiet.
Is that the website you go to get your...
Actually, you guys are going to go to Facebook. Go to Facebook. Just type into Google Facebook Champion Family Chiropractic. You actually are going to get more than just this on there. You guys are going to get the PowerPoint on there as well. Okay? You guys will get this challenge on there. Okay? You'll also get healthy cleaning recipes. Okay? A lot of you guys use Clorox Wipes on your countertops, okay? Those are toxic. They absorb through your skin, okay? They cause cancer, okay?
What is it?
Clorox wipes. Clorox wipes. So the thing is how many of you guys use vinegar as a cleaning product? You guys ever use vinegar? Okay. You guys ever throw it into a spray bottle, right? And use that? You guys ever put like orange oil, lemon oil, like essential oils in there? Okay. Tea tree oil is a natural disinfectant. Okay. You guys are gonna have a printout, and it's a floor cleaner, a glass cleaner, all-purpose cleaner. Okay. Print that out. Make those recipes. Okay. You will save a fortune. A fortune. A gallon of vinegar, I think last time I checked, was $2.68. Okay, it'll last you forever. Okay, so the thing is, you guys will have this. The first step is what? Print this thing out. This is just an intro, just to let you guys know. Okay, I think we're going to set up more workshops in the future. Okay, more on nutrition. Okay, this is just an overview. Okay, more on nutrition, more on exercise and stuff like that. Okay, if you guys go to the gym, okay, what are you guys going to do now? What's that called? So people don't look at you like you're goofy. So you can tell them, oh, I'm doing this. Surge training or metabolic conditioning. Yep, yep. So any questions at all about the oils? What oils can you use? Yeah, olive or coconut. And then should you guys be buying low fat, 0% fat? Okay, good job. Okay, so increase your fat. What fruit should you be able to eat? Berries and what apple? Okay, now here's the thing I'm going to say about vegetables. Okay, if I said which vegetables have a high amount of sugar in them, okay, how about carrots? Okay, how about peas? Okay, how about broccoli? No, okay, how about, this is a trick question, how about sweet potatoes? They don't really have a lot of sugar in them, okay? They're actually good for the pancreas. Kind of a weird thing to let you know, okay? How many of you guys ever get muscle cramps? Okay, you guys say, oh, I just need to eat a banana, right? Sweet potatoes have more potassium in them than a banana, okay? So you should actually incorporate those into your diet, okay? Fried foods, just to let you know, even if it's fried in a good oil, you should avoid it, okay? Because it actually produces, I can't remember the name of them, but they cause cancer, arachnoids or something like that, okay? So fried sweet potatoes, that's why I'm saying that, okay? A lot of people are getting sweet potato fries at these restaurants, okay? It's still not good for you, right? Even though it's a sweet potato, okay? So you should avoid fried foods as much as possible, okay? The last thing I was going to say about meat, right? What should you look for on fish? Wild caught. Wild caught. If it doesn't say that, put it back. The other thing I was going to say about meat, when it comes to beef or chicken, what do you look for? What are the key words? Let's do chicken first. Cage-free, free range, okay? Never injected with antibiotics, okay? And then I like what you said too, is when it comes to like dairy, okay? What should it say on the packaging? There you go, no RGBH, okay? That is what's disrupting hormones, okay? You guys all got flyers? Okay. We actually have a workshop coming up, okay? This is for anyone that wants to come. This is actually all the community, okay? It's living to 100, okay? A lot of people, what happens, we're very good at living longer, but how's our quality of life? So if you guys have parents or anything like that, okay, in a nursing home or anything like that, okay? Dementia, Alzheimer's, those numbers are going up through the roof right now, okay? What did I tell you guys to do about that? If you guys have a parent that actually has that? Coconut oil, how much do you do every day? 2 tablespoons a day. You just put it on vegetables. You put it on whatever food that they're eating, and it will melt, and they will never know the difference, okay? So the thing is living to 100, we're going to teach you guys how to get there gracefully, okay? So you guys are not suffering. The other thing I'm going to say about that, okay? We just had a patient passed away, and you know, they drove 2 hours to get to us, 2 hours to get back, and I went to the funeral, okay? The thing I will say to you, okay? This does not guarantee you that you will live to what? 100, okay? The thing is you have to do everything in your power to live as gracefully, as long as possible, and with the best quality of life, right? The other thing that we're going to be doing is a movie night. We actually have Hungry for Change. We're doing a screening event in our office, okay? It's all about diet. It's a documentary, okay? About how those things right over there, okay? Insulin resistance, okay? Leptin resistance, okay? How those play out in your nutrition, okay? Last thing is we actually pay for food, okay? If you guys want to know more about this in particular, okay? I don't want to just preach on it, okay? But the thing is, if you guys are interested, okay? I pay for food, okay? And I just do a talk, I show x-rays, and I do an explanation how that system actually works. You guys are more than welcome to come to that, okay? You guys can register by just emailing Christy right over here, okay? Our email address is on there. Say, hey, I want to come to Living to 100. I want to come to that movie night, okay? There's so much information out there, we can't cover it all, right? So that's why we do these other workshops. We do about a workshop every single month, just free to the community for that one reason, okay? So any questions at all?
I have one.
Yeah, let's hear
On
it.
that RGBH, looks like the no trans fats. Do we have to be concerned that that label doesn't really truly mean that it's?
Okay, here's the rule of thumb on that one. That's a good question. If it does not say RGBH free, then put it back. You can pretty much assume it has it in there unless it has that label, okay?
So we can
RBGH,
trust that label on the front of it?
it needs to have that label on the front of it.
Okay.
Okay, it needs to say it on there, RGBH free. I just assume that it has it in there if I don't see that little icon. Okay, good question. Any other questions like that? Oh, good.
What about milk? I mean, what percent of fat? I mean,
Full, you need whole milk. Yeah, now here's the other thing. I hesitate even saying this right now, okay? You should buy organic milk, right? So that, what's that, Prairie Farm? Prairie Farm is organic milk, you guys have it, okay? The reason is because the reason why they use RGBH, why they use that, okay, it's growth hormone, it keeps the cattle producing, okay? Keeps producing dairy longer than they should, okay? Now, bigger farms, they use like suction on the udders, right? The udders get sores on them, like, you know, ulcers. If you've ever seen a bed sore in someone, okay, that's what forms on them, okay? The immune system of the cow comes to the rescue, okay? White blood cells start going into the area trying to repair it, prevent infection. That is what you would call pus. Pus is going into the dairy. And there are studies out there that show there's, for every ounce of dairy, there's 10 million pus cells, okay? So with that being said, Prairie Farm would be a better option, I guess, organic. You're going to see a lot more dairy going organic anyway, okay? Because there's such a demand for it right now, okay? What's that? Almond milk, coconut milk, how many of you guys use that? Okay, use those things, those are good for you. Try to buy the original, not the vanilla or the chocolate, because that's sweetened, right? A lot of sugar in there, okay? But try to get the original. I saw other hands.
What about bread and pasta?
Bread and pasta, okay, that's sugar. Okay, so if you guys are anything like my family, we would eat pasta probably 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, so the thing is when would we eat it? At night, right? Are you doing